Preview. You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's The Sizzle, baby. Back in the room. Back and hotter than ever. You know who's here. He's Rich Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. We're in the building. And, baby, we are just on fire. We're on fire today, man. You know, we are so much on fire today that we're going to just run through some things because we got a hot topic to get to. Got a really hot topic to get to. We don't have a lot of time to do it in, so we got to get it in. But, hey, man, let's start off with the Hot 5 and 5. But before we do that, remember, if you have not liked, subscribed, and shared, you can do so by just pushing the button. Hit the link, hit the button, hit the thumbs up if you like this information. Hit the notification so that you are always getting this content right to your cell phone, right to your computer, right to your email, wherever you get your information, wherever you get your TV information, your podcast information. There we are. We are The Sizzle, hottest talk in the 219. We are hot, hot, hot. And you know what? This topic and some topics that are coming up are so hot, man. We're not even going to hit you with the bombs. We're just going to take you right through. Topic number one on the Hot 5 and 5. Rich, are you ready?
What you got for me? What we got?
Man, Hot 5 and 5. Topic number one. It's an open secret that everyone on the Blackhawks allegedly knew about a coach's sexual assault allegations. There are assault allegations by two former players from the 2010 championship Blackhawk teams that says the videographer sexually assaulted them and that administration knew about all of these shenanigans going on in the building. It's hot, it's steamy, it's ugly, and it's going to get bad. So, now, hot topic on the 5 and 5. Number 2, MLB's foreign substance crackdown. Look here, man. The Mariners, Hector Santiago, becomes the first player ever to be ejected for foreign substance on his glove. The umps took his glove, found something sticky and wet, and it wasn't good. It was just all sticky, all wet, but it had no help for the Chicago White Sox in that game because they still lost the game. So, Hector, you are number one in the history books for being hot, sticky, and having something wet. Number 3, on the Hot 5 and 5, Cindy McLaughlin breaks the world record in the 400 hurdles at the Olympic trials. One of the fastest, one of the best. She is now one of the favorites as an Olympic competitor. She's going to be there. It's going to be good. I can't wait to see more track and field. I know you can't either. Number 4 on the Hot 5 and 5. Look, man, Rich, it's a lot going on. Okay, let's try and break it down real quick. Ime Udoka, he was hired as the 18th head coach of the Celtics. Rick Carlisle is going back to the Pacers. And the Dallas Mavericks will hire Nico Harrison, and he'll be basketball VP. And then they'll hire Jason Kidd as head coach. And also in the next move, you've got a new Portland head coach that's under a little controversy. Chauncey Billups is to be named head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, seeing after this series that we're going to talk about shortly. And then next and lastly on the Hot 5 and 5, okay, here it comes. Strange, but the Indiana Fever waived Lauren Cox, the number 3 pick from the 2020 draft. She's had a hard way to go in her rookie and second year, but the Fever dropped her. But is she really the reason they're 1-15 this season? Who really knows? And that's your Hot 5 and 5, the 5 hottest topics going on right now in the sports world that you need to know about. So, Rich, let's jump into it very quickly. Now, after this weekend, we saw what happened. We saw the games played. So after this weekend's edition of the playoffs, can the Atlanta Hawks and or the LA Clippers regain control of these series that they're respectively in?
The Clippers, no. Nah. They're done. And Kawhi, they might as well just stop with the whole he's going to be out this game, out for the next game, out for the next game. He's going to be out for a while. I'm not exactly sure. You know, the rumor is he tore his ACL. That's the rumor.
That is the rumor.
Come out and said it. They might as well just come out and say what the real issue is. But I'm out this game, I'm out that game, and you don't even hear about anything of rehabbing and progressing, or even on the floor, even throwing paper airplanes through the sky. You're not even hearing any updates. Just that he's out. No, they can't get back in the series without him. There's too many people on the Phoenix Suns that are just stepping up. Even when Booker or Aiden aren't playing well, somebody else steps up and takes credit, becomes a hero. Over in Atlanta, similar thing. I think they can still get in this series, but they are not going to be able to do it without Trae Young. If you watched yesterday's game, Trae Young looked like he stepped on the referee's foot or ankle or something like that, went out to the locker room, came back a totally different Trae Young, looked like Trae Old, was missing shots he normally would hit, being lethargic coming up the floor. And then you had the Chris Middleton factor, who just like went into like complete God mode in the fourth quarter and things like that. But the thing with that Atlanta series is simple. They can make the adjustments. They let that game get away. They had it, then they let them come back. Then they come back up, then they kind of eased up, let them come back. If they put their foot on the gas 4 quarters, 48 minutes, they're going to win. They can win. But they have to be able to do that, and then they have to be able to have Trae Young on the floor.
Yeah, with all that said, when you look at a gimpy Trae Young, I think that's a recipe for disaster for the Hawks. I thought they presented, I guess maybe my thought is from the beginning, maybe it was fool's gold. We thought from that game 1 that we said, okay, this team is going to come in and smash. And then all of a sudden, the real Milwaukee Bucks walked into the building, and it seems like it's been a disaster. But again, as we've seen in this playoff, they're only holding court. They've come in and done what they were supposed to do. They took a game from them in Milwaukee. So Milwaukee came back, got their game back, held home court for game 2. Game 3, they got their game back. So now, I don't know. I don't know where you're going to go with this. But the Phoenix Suns, I think you just needed Chris Paul to get into shape and get himself together. Now, you need probably Devin Booker to stop just running and throwing his face into everyone. That might be a good idea. I mean, I don't think that's a great defensive plan. I don't know who came up with that. Like, hey, this is how we'll defend them. They're like, Devin, just throw your face into them. They'll stop. Just hit them with your face. They'll stop. Now, I don't think that's going to work. But I do think
you don't become one of the prettier players on the court and decide to headbutt one of the ugliest players on the court, Patrick Beverley. It just doesn't add up, right? I don't really think that was his. I don't think that wasn't the plan. Let's just put it like that.
I think that the plan though was I'm going to show you how ugly I can get, and I think Devin Booker went out there and proved to everyone that he's about it. And that's a reference for you younger fans. So if you don't know about him, about it. He about it. I mean, he about it. He's about his business, and he shows you every time he puts his chin on some other player's head and defends them. And I'm beginning to I am becoming a Phoenix person now. This is crazy. I'm watching their games with anticipation and excitement, and I want to see Aiden. And I want to see his Dre shirts. I want to see it. I want to see Cameron Payne and his little weird corkscrew shot that comes out the side of his body when he goes like, and he throws it in. Yeah, I'm there for all of that.
I love how Phoenix is just playing with control.
Yes.
You notice they have not lost control at all in that series. Mm-hmm. And it just looks like the Clippers are just grabbing straws and just pulling whatever. They know the ball was put out of bounds on them. They're still trying to do anything, gasp, cry, plead to the ref. Please give me one call that I know is not in my favor, just in my favor. Please, we need it. It's just like, come on, guys. Let's just play ball. We understand the odds are not against you right now with your best player out there, but you still have to perform. And they're not doing that.
I mean, the only person really now Zubac and Reggie Jackson for the Clippers have been putting in that work. They put in extra work. Hats off to them because they have been putting their work in. Boogie Cousins. I'm trying to say this in a nice way. Outside of him being all fizzle,
just say it.
he should be relegated to the big three. I mean, he should be traded down to the big three. It is over. It's a wrap. I thought that DeMarcus Cousins was a better player. I was wrong.
Well,
I was wholly
wrong. 5 years
wrong.
ago, he was the better player. 5 years and 4 injuries ago, sure.
No, I thought he was a better mental player. I thought mentally he knew the game. I did. No. I really did. For some reason, I was like, DeMarcus is just he's misunderstood. He's been typecast. They don't really understand the brilliance in his cranium.
We knew this back in Sacramento.
Yeah.
We did. We just ignored, we like a bad relationship. Like, I knew he was worthless back in the day. I just ignored it because I thought he had potential. No. We knew he was crazy in Sacramento.
Yeah, and he's kind of crazy now. It's kind of bad. It's all bad. And right now, I mean, I don't see what else you can do. I don't see whatever maneuvers you can make right now for the Clippers. To your point, you got to just go out there and play. I mean, there's nothing else at this point. What else you going to do?
You're facing elimination. You just got to put it all out there on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. And pray that the worst doesn't happen. Yeah. Well, the worst, right. We are talking about Paul George. Just keep him away from stanchions.
Oh.
I digress. But let's close out with talking about the Hawks.
Sure. I'll tell you this. Let me throw this in there.
Okay.
I wasn't surprised that Atlanta won that first game. If you look historically, underdog teams have a high chance of winning that first game because you don't know what to expect. That favorite team comes in there all cocky and chest poked out, all full of fire that's really not hot, and they get smacked in the mouth because they got too arrogant. It's shown years and years. I mean, Allen Iverson did it to the Lakers. The Bulls did it a couple times to LeBron's teams. It is what it is. You're going to take a game, that game one is always that surprise game. But now that we're past game one, everybody else has to continue with that fire. See, Atlanta's a young team. Mm-hmm. They have fire, but they don't have that full experience that you really want.
Right.
That you can really get through a 7-game series. It's like, this isn't like in football where it's just that one game you got to get past. No, you got to get past 4, 5, 6, 7 games. That's a lot of mental toughness, a lot of go in, film taping, change this, come back, we're going to do this differently. There's a lot of different variables and angles. And maybe you just have somebody with a bad game. They say, well, we had a good defensive game. Maybe that player just wasn't hitting, and now all of a sudden he is. Mm-hmm. I.e. Chris Middleton.
Yes, the basketball star lord. He was doing all kinds of things. It was terrible. But, okay, so Nate McMillan has a hard road to hoe. You've got Bogdanovich who's injured. You've got Cam Reddish that's injured. You've got Hunter that's injured. You got a few players that are gimpy. So now you're putting the whole onus on Trae Young and
Collins when he can stay out of foul trouble.
And I mean, that's if he's got to switch off on at any point on Giannis, that's a nightmare. And then all you got left is what? Clint Capella, who's he's Clint Capella, son. I mean, it's not like we're talking about Arvydas Sabonis or Shaquille O'Neal. It's Clint Capella.
No, but he is your rim protector, though. He's got to find a way.
Does he know he's the rim protector?
7 foot. Ain't he 7 foot tall? Close enough. I mean, that should be like, basketball IQ number 1. Okay, I'm 7 foot and I don't have a 35-foot 3-point range. So that means I got to be back here towards the basketball goal, and that's where I got to pretty much stay. Right?
Well, the one thing I will credit Nate McMillan on is I am so tired of the drop coverage in the NBA. Look, man, stop it. I prefer if you just go all zone, just not the drop coverage. Just not everybody just drop back like, we're not going to let you get here. Giannis can dunk over you. You're not going to stop him with drop coverage. You see him and you're like, oh my Lord, he's back here. What are we going to do? And then somebody else is like, I don't know. We're in drop coverage. He can't do that, but he did.
Yeah, this is not. Giannis can dunk from 20 feet out. All he's got to do is raise his arm out. That's not how you defend him.
Actually, I think the only way you defend him right now is you probably run him over with one of those little smart cars.
Or you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit, put somebody to stop him in transition and force him to shoot the ball. I mean, hey, he's got, what did they say? He had like a 17% 3-point range for the playoffs. Make him shoot threes.
And which is a good question moving forward. Let's say they do face off against the Suns. I mean, the Suns have every kind of check the box with everything you need. 3-point shooting, defense, rebounding, they're athletic, and they've got somebody, if you can guard LeBron, you can hold your own probably against Giannis. Ugh. It might get ugly for Milwaukee.
I don't know. I'm not going to say that just because they were able to slow down LeBron, they're going to be able to slow down Giannis. That's a whole different
animal. Don't you ever be disrespectful. Don't you
I'm not.
You're being disrespectful to LeBron. LeBron James.
I art thou not. I am pointing out a straight up fact. These are totally different animals. You cannot go in there and say, well, we stop LeBron James, we can stop Giannis. And vice versa. Well, we stop Giannis, we can stop LeBron James. These are totally different types of players. Totally different physicalities, builds, arm length, shooting abilities. LeBron is not going into the lane like Giannis is now. Just not what he'll show glances of it, but Giannis will do it all game. All game. You're going to have to stop that all 48 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying it's not going to be as easy as you're trying to make it sound.
That's true. But I will say this, for Mike Budenholzer, he might be the only coach that we know that gets fired after winning a championship, should he do it. And I am advocating, and I want everybody out there listening to sign the petition with us to free Bobby Portis. Free Bobby Portis. I don't know what's going on with BP, but you're going to have to give BP some minutes. This is ridiculous. This is a crime. This is a Travis Shamockery. Bobby Portis should be freed on that court to do Bobby Portis things.
You can't, because every time you try to free him, you try to fight somebody. He's like punch happy. I mean, I watched him yesterday. You don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he created a hard foul. He went over to the player, and you didn't know if he was going to punch him or help him up or like step over. And it was like, oh, boy, here come Bobby. Like, Bobby!
You're like, don't do it, Bobby. No, you know what? That's what I like in my player. I like a little unexpected. I like it. I like that Bobby might hurt you. Like, hey, seriously.
You can check him, like, mentally. There's another one of these mental guys. If you can figure out a way to get him under wrap, I mean, he looks good. He looked good yesterday for the time that he did play. He made some good, smart offensive plays, some great hustle plays. Like you said, I mean, I like to see him out there. If you can harness that uncontrollable urges he has to just go out and punch somebody in the face, I mean.
Hey, Bobby Portis to the Bulls. That's all I'm saying, baby. That's how we're going to end this one. Bobby Portis to the pool. Bobby, don't. Oh, Bobby. Oh, thank you, Bobby. That was a very beautiful thing.
Oh, good job.
Good job, Bobby. These coaches like, oh, my God. He's going to make me drink. He is going to make me drink somewhere.
You see the coach and like, hold on.
Time out. Oh, he did it already. Okay. Yeah, he will make Billy Donovan's hair will look like mine fooling around with Bobby Portis. You know what it is. You know who it is. It's the Sizzle in the building. Listen, man, we are the hottest talk in the 219. We are the hottest talk in sports. He is Rich Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. We are the Sizzle, and we will see you, my friend, on the other side.
Did you know that you can listen to Iron Skillet Radio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor? It's easy. Look for Iron Skillet Sports or #Skillet_sports for our latest episodes. We are Iron Skillet Sports.